Hi, I'm Mukes, licensed professional counselor.
Hi, I'm Dr. B, pediatric neuropsychologist.
And welcome to Let's Talk. So, Dr. B and I are sitting here having a conversation that we're sure many of you can relate to because you've either gone through it, or you're in it, or you're looking to get into it. And that is, and even the ones that you're not, we all have them, and that's relationships, right? And so, but today we particularly wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about dating, fun and dating, because dating has changed quite a bit since I was in the scene. And we've moved into an era of lots of online dating, meeting people online and being able to go out, and sometimes people form very long-term relationships out of these situations. But we wanted to talk with you today and give you a few tips on how to date safely in this new technological age.
Yeah. So as a person who has participated in online dating, I think that there are some important tips to follow, whether you're online dating or whether you met someone in another capacity.
Mm-hmm.
The first tip that we want to talk about is meeting the person, particularly for the first time, in a public place.
Mm-hmm.
It's a safety precaution to not meet at someone's house or not having them come to your house.
Oh, no.
But meeting in a public place where there are others around, and it provides safety not only for you, but for that other person until you all are at a level of comfort to which you can meet each other in more private places.
Right, because we hear a lot about things in the news and online and in TV shows about people catfishing, that the person on the other end of the screen may not be exactly who you think they are. And so it's best to take some very serious precautions for your own safety, whether no matter which party you are in the dating scene, so that you can maintain your own safety by meeting out in public places.
Absolutely.
You can yell for help. Maybe right there.
Absolutely. And another tip that we want to talk about is when you're meeting at that public place, letting someone know where you are and who you are with. I can imagine that some of you may think, well, that's my business. Why do I have to tell anybody where I'm going and who I'm going with? I mean, you are obligated to make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
But we would encourage you to let someone know who you're with and where you're going to be. Again, just to exercise safety.
Absolutely. I remember, tell a funny story. So when I was in college, and this is before, oh Lord, I'm about to date myself. So this is before online dating was big, but people would meet people out on college campuses or whatnot. And I remember being a resident assistant, and whenever any of the girls on my floor were going out with some guy that they had met for the first time, this is back in the day when I had Polaroid camera too, and I would go outside and get a picture of them, and I would write down their driver's license and all and their name, and also because if my freshman student didn't return back to the campus that night, I'm going to the police to file a police report. And I know, okay, so that might have been a little bit extra, right? But it does just speak to community, right? Because if nobody knows that you're missing, if nobody knows that, oh, Dr. B went out on a date and, I haven't heard from her in 3 days, nobody knows to go, oh, well, she said that she was meeting with some guy or going to wherever, and then so much time has lapsed, and so then it becomes a huge problem later on. So definitely letting people know where you're going to be, who you're going to be with, so that if anything should happen, and even sometimes it's not about the person, sometimes life just happens. You get into some sort of a car accident on the way or something like that happens. So just being aware of those types of things so that someone can know where you are and be there for you, the backup support.
Sure, and even sometimes I've put time limits. Like if you haven't heard from me by this time, check in with me to make sure everything is going okay and that I'm feeling safe and things are proceeding as expected.
Absolutely. And so a third tip that we wanted to bring up is to to trust your gut a little bit. It's really just to not ignore red flags. Sometimes when we meet somebody and we might go, oh, I really like this person, or we felt like we've made a connection over the internet or over the phone, and we get with them, and so then we start seeing things, but because we are so enamored with the idea of the possibility of this blooming new relationship, we may tend to ignore those red flags or those signs of things that particularly maybe signal some form of danger, or that just go against our own values and morals.
Certainly. And I would add to that with online dating, if there are any concerns about safety or things of that nature, reporting that also to the company or for whoever you are doing the online dating with, whether it's Match or, the many other dating sites that they have out there. I will share a personal experience. I was having a conversation with someone online, and eventually, without giving this person my cell phone number, somehow this person got in contact with me, and I want to say it was my cell phone. It could have been my work phone too. One way or another, they accessed information about me that I had not made available to them, and I immediately contacted the site and let them know what had taken place. Just so in the future, if that person exhibits that same behavior, they'll be warned not to do that type of thing. That's a little bit creepy.
Yeah. It's a lot of bit creepy.
And just to kind of have a trail on if this person is participating in some behaviors that are unwarranted or not safe for others.
Right, and so reporting those things is helpful because not only because there's also often a possibility that you're not the only person that's happened to, and so being able to keep those types of things from happening to other people. And I think in tandem with that, I don't know if this is quite an extra tip, but we'll throw you an extra one. This one's free. Is understanding that you don't have to disclose everything about yourself to someone that you've just started dating. Sometimes we get gung-ho and we start talking a lot about our personal business. We talk about where we work and what building we work in and different things like that without having fully vetted the person that we've started dating. And so again, back to safety is you don't have to let people know all of these things. It's sufficient that you're gainfully employed and you work as a bank teller, and that's fine, but you don't have to say, oh, I work at this particular bank and this is my shift. It's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. At least not in the beginning. And
right.
So as you proceed out into dating, is being mindful of your safety first.
Right. And another free tip. As you're thinking about dating, for the social media, like things like Facebook and Twitter, if you have your profile set to where they're public, people can find out a lot of information about you. So you must keep that in mind as well, so they could potentially know where you work and things of that nature if your social media profiles are set to public. So it's important to limit the information or limit the privacy settings on those types of social media, particularly when you're dating or doing online dating and there's some information that you aren't ready for individuals who aren't familiar with you to know.
Yeah, I think I just heard a whole bunch of people clicking on their app, changing their profile settings from private to friend and from public to friends only. So just to get us started, we wanted again to let you know some tips on dating in this new technological age. So as we stated, you want to make sure that you meet for the first time in a public place. You want to make sure that someone knows where you are and who you're with. You also want to make sure that you do not ignore any red flags that may go off. And then of course, our free tips to you today were I forgot what my free tip was.
We forgot what our free tips were.
I think I remember what yours was your social media, making sure your social media settings are not to public if you don't want anybody to have that much access to you. And I still don't.
I'm glad you remembered that one. Go back and rewind.
Yeah, rewind, because I can remember what you said. I don't remember what I said. But anyway, so if you have any questions or comments about dating in the new technological age, be sure to drop us a line. Mm-hmm. Don't forget to like our video if you found it helpful. Share it with a friend or 2 or 3 or 12. All your buddies that are dating, let them know that they need to know these safety tips to keep them safe while dating out in this digital world.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again for watching.